Okay, the recording is going to be split now. Okay, so you all can open this application on your machine, and I'm connected to my EC2. Let me reconnect. So if I reconnect, if I reload, you're not going to see this, right? Okay, it's still working. I'll have to kill that process. So, yes, kill. Wait, hold. So I'm going to. This is a command to kill any process which is consuming, let's say, port number this one. So this has now stopped this process, and we are not going to see any output. Why did I kill that? Because I want to show you. Just 1 second. Okay, so now I'm going to go to lectures 9. This one. So now our server is not running. That means if I disconnect from my EC2 instance, right? If I disconnect from my EC2 instance, then any process, let's say this process is running, right? Any process that I'm running, I will have to close this process and I will have to exit, right? So that means there should be a way to run this application in background, and so that we don't have to stay logged into our EC2 machine to run this node application. Does that make sense? Currently we are logged in and we have to run this node app by from our SSH terminal, right? So how do we uh, stay how do we run this process in the background and not have to be connected to SSH client? Okay, so for that there is a tool called PM2, and I'm going to install that by npm. So it is available to install by npm, and I'm going to install this globally, and I'm going to show you PM2. This is the tools website. You install it like this, and going to learn more, you can run any application by PM2 start app. This PM2 stands for process management, and if we run, let's say, an app like this, our file is index.js, and we can give it a name of, say, blog app. So see this, this is going to give us a nice output, and it is PM2. The first time we run PM2, it is going to see us this information. PM2 is a production process manager for node applications with a built-in load balancer. All these things we use it like this: PM2 start app, and load balancer 4 instances. If we want to run 4 instances of this, we can run. Right now we are running only one, so we can run it like this. Okay, so if we want to run 4 instances to have support, let's say, distribute the network traffic between four of our node applications, then that is also supported by this. and PM2 monitor, PM2 startup. All these things are I'm going to show you. But now, even if I exit from this SSH terminal, then also this application is going to be running. Okay. So this is still working. That means we can exit from our SSH terminal, and this will still be running in background. So PM2 is going to take care of that. And PM2 has a few commands that you should know. PM2 list, right? PM2 describe, describe 0. So this is the ID, and I want to know a little more about this application. W- So I can do PM2 describe. It will give you all this information, that what is where are the log getting stored. This is storing logs in a log file, and these are the log files. You can look at these files. And where is the script path? So script path is here, and uptime is 104 seconds. Name is blog app, and so on, right? Interpreter is node, and the all these things. Okay. Remote file, remote, what is the remote GitHub remote thing? All these things, which commit we are running, what is the commit message, right? Which branch we are at. So all these remote control metadata, actions available, and code metrics, and environment variables, all these things. Okay. So also we can look at logs by saying PM2 logs 0, and this is going to show you all the logs. So all the live logs, they are going to be available like this. PM2 is a very good tool, and if you run PM2 save command, then it will save the current process list, and even if your server crashes or anything, it will restart all those servers. Okay. If your server crashes or if your server restarts, so on boot up, it will automatically run these processes for you. So this is a very nice tool. And yeah, any questions so far? Now there is a little problem with our application, which is login with GitHub is not going to work, because it is redirecting back to this localhost. Instead, it should redirect back to uh, uh, this this application. So we can fix that easily. We just have to go to change one of our application settings, this application, and we can change the callback URL. So if we change the callback URL, we can update this. And once we update this, you can see if I log in with GitHub this time, it will send me back to this URL. And now I'm logged in as GitHub user. How to open new terminal to EC2? You can open new terminal in your application in your machine and connect to EC2 with that. Okay. So now I'm connected with two. Uh, I have two connections with my EC2 machine. Okay. Then to work in localhost, we have to change it back. Yes. So basically what you can do is you can have two applications on in GitHub. You can have two applications, one for development, one for prod, and that is the most suitable way to work with GitHub OAuth. Okay, cool. So this is all about hosting. I think we are done with most of the things that we need to know, and you can also see everything is working. This is comment from GitHub profile, and everything's working fine, right? Did you enjoy this lecture? Okay. Now, one more thing that I'm going to show you is how to connect to your EC2 machine using VS Code. Okay. So I'm going to exit from this terminal. I'm going to exit from this terminal. Now, VS Code is so cool that it will allow you to see all the files on your remote machine. You can basically open you can connect to your EC2 machine directly from VS Code. Okay. So to do that, you will have to install an extension called remote SSH. Okay. So this one, I have this. So if you install this, you're going to see this green icon on the left side, open a remote window. And once you do that, it is going to open this menu. In this, I'm going to just uh, first show you how to configure, then you will have to open. Okay. So you can click on this open SSH configuration file. Inside that, it will show you a list of configuration files. And I'm going to select this one because this is the default that I have, and I'm going to use this one. And you can see I have already added these 5 or 6 machines, EC2 machines. Okay. All of these will require you to add a name, some host name, who's the user, and what is the identity file. Okay. So I'm going to copy this file path, and I'm going to say host pt web 8b, and host name. I will provide the IP address. Username is going to be Ubuntu, and identity file is this one, right? So once I save this, I also need to pass the host name. I can copy this public IP address and paste it here. Once we do this, and if I click on this button, then I can click on connect to host, and it is going to show me the name of the machine I want to connect with. If I click on this, it is going to set up SSH. First time you do this, it is going to set up SSH VS Code extension on your server. And after that, you once the connection is successful, you can see that we are connected to our remote machine. Okay. You can click on open folder, and you see we have all these files in our slash home slash ubuntu directory. We have this lectures directory, and we have all these files. So if I click on this, and if I click on open, basically I'm logged in to my ubuntu machine using VS Code. Okay. So I can say I trust the authors, and you will see all the files here. If you look at .env file here, it is the same file that is on our server. Okay. So yeah, this is a very cool extension, and I don't use SSH from terminal. Most of the time, I just use SSH from um, VS Code, but you should also know how to do that from terminal. Sometimes that is also useful. So you can directly write code. You can change anything here. So for example, I'm going to change code. It is not advisable to change code here because you should also have to push the code, right? You should have to push the code. So let's say I change it back, and I can also open terminal here, and by default it is going to open the terminal, not just edit files. Also we can run commands from this. So this terminal is by default going to be SSH terminal, right? So I'm going to say pm2 list, and in this we have we have this list of our PM2 applications. So I can say PM2 restart 0 because I just changed some code, right? So once you change the code, you will have to restart your application with PM2 as well. So you can see PM2 restart, and this time uptime is showing 0 and this restart icon is showing 1. So every time you restart, this is going to increase the counter, right? And it has the status online. It is using 0% CPU, 16.0 megabytes of memory, and all these information, right? So I'm going to say PM2 logs 0. So you will see that this time we are getting server listening on 3000. Okay. So I can see some people are using the application. Yep. Yeah. Cool. So this is how you host Node.js applications from on AWS, right? So I'm going to close this, exit this terminal. And also one more thing, there is this tool called PM2 Monit, right? If you go to app.pm2.io, I'm logged in with my account. You will have to create an account, but I'm logged in with my account. And basically what you can do is you can monitor your application directly from the browser. You don't have to go to your SSH terminal or your EC2 instance to check what is the health of your application. So what you can do is you can, and I'm just creating a bucket, and okay, I think I'll have to delete some bucket first. Hmm, it is not showing any error, which is bad. Getting 403 but not showing any notification. It is saying forbidden. So I can change it here. I can delete the server. I can use this one. So once you create a bucket, for since I'm using it for free, I'm not using it the paid version of it. So I have some restriction, the number of buckets I can use. But once you create a bucket, which is one bucket is allowed for free, you can use this command, right? We have already run this command. We can use this command, and if we execute this command on our server, then whatever applications we are using, we are running on our server with PM2, we can basically monitor directly from here. So it is going to reload. We will have to reload. And once we reload, you can see our blog application is now available here. Blog application. And you can monitor how is your app doing directly from browser. So you can exit the connection. I'm going to close remote connection. Everything's working fine. Going to close this as well. So you can see that I can restart the app from here as well. I can show the logs and reset the monitor, and I can see which GitHub, so which GitHub repository I'm using, which branch I'm using, which commit I'm using, what is the commit message, and how much memory my application is using, how much CPU usage is there, and how much is the HTTP latency as well. So this is going to give you some metrics like uh, how much time your application is taking for each HTTP request. So P95 means 95% of my 95% of my HTTP request, they are served under 800 microseconds. Okay, so they are taking 800 microseconds or more, a little more than 800, but very well within 1 second. And mean on average, it is taking 2 microsecond. It is taking very less time because sometimes it is serving very small files, or sometimes it is making DB calls. So at most it is taking 1 second. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run uh, my script to add some dummy data so that I can test uh, how my app will do if I have some production level data in our application. So we can go log into our SSH. We can SSH into our machine, and I'm going to open the folder, lectures folder, and we don't have any scripts, do we? Okay, we have some scripts, so we can go to this folder, and this is loading all the files. Open the terminal, and I'm going to run this script: fake users, fake posts, and fake comments. Okay, so node scripts create fake users. So it will add some fake users. New please create yourself. Okay, so it is creating some fake users. I think we are not getting any response. Maybe the script is stuck or something. Is my internet working fine? Okay, just a second. I'm disconnected. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Um, it could be because the script crashed our application. Okay. The script crashed our server. Let me check if my server is running or not. So yeah, I think it is still up. So everything is fine. Maybe some issue with the remote connection here. Let me remove this. Okay. I'm going to SH into this CD into lectures 9 auth C scripts create fake users. So could not connect to the database is the issue. Now why is that? In our scripts there is some problem. Connect database, and okay, I think the problem is we are not reading the credentials. So I'm going to change this by I'm going to change require dot env dot config. So we are not reading our environment variables. That's why it is not able to connect. So let me just change that. Okay. I'm also going to fix this one. And yeah, with this we should be done. Fix make data generators. Okay. So push the code. I have some uh, changed files. So I will have to remove these changes, right? So I'm going to say git uh, stash. Now I can do git pull origin pt web 8b. I have the new files. So now I can run this node script, create fake user. So this time it is going to connect to the database, and in a minute it is going to add the users. So 100 users added. Let's close this, and then we can have create fake posts. Okay. So it is going to connect to the database and then add 5,000 posts or so. So we are adding 1,000 posts. So this time it is connecting to the remote database. That's why it is taking some time. So 1,000 posts are added. Now we can add some comments as well. 5,000 comments and see how it does. We'll have to wait for a minute, I guess. Can you show PM2 stats right now? Yeah, sure. PM2, these are the stats. Okay. It is still creating comments. So the DB call is going to take some time, and rest of the things are just fine. Right. And if we can just load the server, right? Okay. Uh, okay. Our server is not showing those posts for some reason. So I can exit from here and I can Mongo sh to my database cluster, right? And see if I have the post added or not. Okay, it is showing. Okay, maybe. Oh, right. Yeah, it is showing. Yes, then it's fine. Cool. And these random comments are also coming. Okay. So you see, yeah, they are not sorted in a proper manner. So we can change that, but everything's working fine, right? And you can also see that our server is still using 0% CPU, and most of our HTTP requests, they are resolved within 800 and 1 second. So not taking more than 1 second for each request, right? It is still fast. So, yep. Any questions? Anybody wants to ask anything? No? Well, okay. So this is it for backend. I hope you enjoyed this series of lectures, and you enjoyed learning about backend. And yeah, this is it from my side. I hope you try to learn more about backend and keep learning things that um, to be you will get a job eventually, and you will work as a as an engineer. But some of you may be interested to work as front end engineers. Some of you may be interested more in back end side. So it's up to you. There's a question: does the sort method change the documents arrangement in database, or just how it is fetched? It just uses to fetch. It does not change how they are stored. Okay, cool. I guess we're done with this lecture of deployment, and I hope you enjoyed it. That's it. Cool. Thanks, everybody. And best of luck for your evaluation. Mm, best of luck for your career as well. It was good having you in this class. Thank you. Thank you as well. Okay. All right then. Bye, folks. Good night.